might have some different washers too. I have a lot of lug nut things. Let me go look. So I went and pulled out another box of washers, and they are smaller. And I've got that many of them here, and I might have some more in here. I've got another box of these things somewhere out here. So I'm gonna try a couple of these smaller washers behind that. I'm gonna turn y'all off while I do that. So those seem to go on there just fine. Let's see, I got one on the wheel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 washers like that. I did find one of these old oblong washers. That used to be pretty common on these kind of wheels. And I might have some more in there. But I've got one here. So, I've got, and I can probably get some of these from the parts store. Put y'all off again. So those work with those washers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to town and get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to get me, here's one more, 9. I'm going to run in town and get me a bunch more of these washers and see if I can find one of these 1220s nuts before I go any further. And I'm going to get another extra tube of super C's, unseized, what do you call that stuff that keeps your threads from seizing? I'm going to recoat all these with that and put them back on. I've probably got some here, but not enough to do all of these. So we'll make a road trip. Well, I believe I've already told you I ordered a box of lug nuts. These were off of Amazon. They were probably the cheapest things I could find. That's probably why I got one that didn't have any threads in it. But the other thing it had was it had washers that were that big, and I found some washers that were this big, and these lug nuts, which is a 12 by 20, work with these little washers and not with these big washers. And I went to National Auto Parts and they didn't have any of that, but I went across the road there to O'Reilly's, and O'Reilly has the 1/2, I said 12, but it's 1/2 by 20, and it has them with the right size washer, which makes me wonder if maybe these washers are the right ones for cars that have these lug nuts, because these lug nuts fit what I think of as a forward wheel, and a forward wheel goes on the inside of the oblong hole instead of the outside. Now if you had this on a Chevrolet wheel, this nut would be at the high side of that oblong hole, and then those fat washers would work. I'm willing to bet the skinny washers are for 1/2/20s on a Ford style or Plymouth style wheel, and the fat washers are for one of these type of lug nuts on a Chevy style wheel. But regardless of all that, I got one set of 1/2 by 20s. I needed 6. They had 5 in a package along with 5 washers. And they didn't have any more of these, but I wound up buying another set of these, which are not the size I need. These are 12/150s, but they have the same size washer. So I paid extra money to make sure I had all the washers I need to make this work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull each one of these off. And I'm going to put some Never Sees on it right here, anti-seize on each one of these. I'm going to put some on the outside of the shaft. What I mean by the shaft is this shaft slides down in the wheel, so I'm going to put a little bit on the outside and then a little bit on the inside where the threads are. And then after I do that one, I'm going to take that one and get that one in the air and take that one and do it. This is an awesome look, and everywhere I go people compliment on this trailer. This is an aluminum car trailer, and aluminum trailers are lighter than metal, lighter than steel, and they're more expensive. And everywhere I go people say, wow, where did you get that trailer? And I say, well, I bought that trailer on purpose for the size and the weight and everything there, and I paid the extra money to get it. And it's interesting that what I paid for this trailer is about half what you'd have to pay to buy one today, because everything went up. If you may remember, everything got more expensive a few years ago when we were having supply issues. I think that's what they were calling it, supply side economics, or I don't know what it was, but they had a lot of boats floating out there around out there in the ocean with stuff in them, and they couldn't unload them because all the trailers to unload them with were full of other stuff, and somewhere they didn't get unloaded, and the whole supply and demand, the supply for of trailers didn't meet the demand for stuff. And so all the ports got clogged up, and it was a big deal. Everything went up, especially the price of cars, used cars. Hey, that's a different color. That's a different color than what I'm used to. The stuff I'm used to is silver, but this is clear, which is odd. It seems odd. Maybe it's not clear. Maybe it's just not shook up, stirred up, or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna put this. Y'all can't even see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna stop talking because I need both hands. I need to get both hands on the steering wheel here. So I'm gonna stop talking while I do this. And y'all just live with it. Just deal with it. Just make the best of it, okay? Do the best you can with what you got to work with there. And I'm gonna put these things back in order with some never sees on them. Oh, I love that. Okay, camera off now while I work.